All right, I'm on hole number 4 of the Frosty Peaks tournament. I'm in the practice round. Let's go check out hole number 4. These are all on the Grunberg slopes. Holes 1 through 9 if you go to Golf Clash Notebook. All right, the goal here, I'll tell you, super easy. If you got lower developed stuff, or if you feel like there's too much, like there's too big of a risk to get out into the rough out here or into the sand, and you'd rather just take a consistent shot, it's super easy to lay up over here. You can do it with even a low level. You don't even have to bring out a big ball. You can bring out your QB and you can just lay it up out there. I think you can do max topspin with just about any QB, and you'll end up down here somewhere in this range. Have a nice, I think it might be long iron wood from out here. It's definitely short iron. I think if you can get around this bend even just a little, you're probably in your wedge range, depending on what kind of ball you bring. I'm going to try the shot coming over here, but I'm trying to set this shot up so that I can be, I'm going to use my big topper and a power 3 ball, and I'm going to put everything on it. I want to see like where it ends up. If I can catch the fairway, like how far out will it bleed out all the way through? I have no idea. But what I'm really focused on is how many rings. I'm going to use this transitional surface out here. I want to be like 3 rings off of that transitional surface, or 2 rings off that transitional surface with max topspin going in this direction. And when I take this shot and I take the wind out and I put curl on it, it just curls it right down in this direction. So I need to figure out how many rings off down here I need to be in order to get this trajectory to flow on that. And so today is just all about trying to figure out how many rings off I need to be. But I'm really hoping that I can take this with my big topper. I could also take this with a rock. If my rock might be, let's see here, rock might be a better choice. Now, getting way down there to the end, it could go either way. It'll be that bag or it'll be that bag or my number 2 bag. We'll see. I get the right ball. I got the right ball. We're going to go out there and check it out. I think with the big topper has a ton of tools, but the one tool that it's lacking is topspin. So in a lot of cases, your quarterback, you'll get, in a case like this, I may actually net, depending on where my red line is, I may actually net more yardage with my QB. Now it works when you're at your max red line with a club, and then you're pulling it back in order to make the shot happen. You're getting more into your QB range. Because that QB must hit somewhere in the 220 range, and the rock hits at 230, 232. Let's see where the red line is. I can't even remember. So I may be way off just as far as like red line. I'm going to balance them out. So that's about 7 topspin. I'm going to go 3 rings off. Take the wind out. That's about a 10% pull. Max curl. Hitting it perfect. And let's see if I over curled it, under curled it, if it can make the deal, what the thing is, whether I need to go in or out. And I need to come in about a half a ring. So instead of 3 rings off, I need to be somewhere in the 2 1/4, 2 1/2. And that'll put you, with that topspin, that should put me right down here in the bottom of this pocket. And then that drive shot, because the whole deal on a hole like this is that you want a delivery system to put you into the best spot over and over and over. And you don't want that delivery system to have, you want to go out there and set the shot up and it's 2 1/2 rings off and you do max curl. And then once I hit it the first time, it'll probably be actually closer towards 2 rings, because you want to leave yourself enough room on the left and the right. So if you hit a grate to the left or the right, it'll still flow down the middle. And 2 rings is pushing the limit when I'm doing a max curl shot. Usually I like to be 3 rings off on max curl. Nice shot. Nice shot. And that's exactly the area that we want to end up in down there. That looks like a straightforward flat shot. Okay, there's max. I'm in the mid-range. Mid-range is 4 per ring, so I'm going to do a 3 ring pull. Or excuse me, a 3 mile per hour pull. It should be about 3/4 of a ring. Ah, great to the right. Great to the right. Dun 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 dun. It would have bounced over the flagpole. Even if I'd have had it on trajectory, which I didn't. Let's see if my opponent can get in here with a runner. I like a runner. If you've got when you're working your clubs up the scale, a kingfisher is going to be a big friend to you for quite a while until you can get your hornet or your thorn or whatever your cup of tea is a little bit higher in level. But there are some holes that the kingfisher's like right in between clubs, and your runner will be your backup on those holes. It has some pretty good tools as it goes up in level. Some of those clubs, it's how you use them as you go up in level. So as you're getting your clubs, as you're getting your clubs developed, you may use a club like that where right now you're like, oh, that club's crap, I'll never use that club again. You're right, you may never use it again, but you used it. You used it for a reason, because at that particular point in time, it was the club. It was the best club you had in your bag as the backup. Maybe. All right, that was hole number 4. Was that hole number 4? That was hole number 4. Frosty Peaks. What did we get done on that? Let's go look at that hole one more time. I just want to think here. In my notes, though, so we don't have to, because of where our red line is, in my main account, my thought process was to use a power 4 ball, so that if we get a day that we have headwind, I've got the shot set up already with a power 4 ball. And finding that spot out here where I can do the big topper, and I think the big topper will be the club to use. Same accuracy at that level as an extra mile, so it's not too far off the scope, but it gets me a lot more curl to get me down into this area. Same spot my opponent was in. All right. That was hole number 4. Thanks for watching.